Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 23rd of November. With McShane, we're working our way through 1 Chronicles, today reading chapter 18, the continuing story of David and his kingship. In today's chapter, a number of enemies come up against him, and God gives him victory over them. And as he has victory, he takes plunder, and then people bring him tribute. And not only does he gain victory over many of the surrounding nations, people that they were oppressing then side with David and come to him and bring tribute to him. And so we're told that Tau, king of Hamath, sends his son to David, and we're told he brings him all kinds of articles of gold and silver and bronze. And then in verse 11 we read, King David dedicated these articles to the Lord, as he had done with the silver and gold he had taken from all these nations, Edom and Moab, the Ammonites and the Philistines, and Amalek. And so here we have a picture of David growing in power and influence, and yet not using the resources available to his own aggrandizement. He doesn't build himself bigger and bigger palaces and make more and more finery. He dedicates it to God. He gives the resources to God to build his temple. And we know that later on, when Solomon builds the temple, he can build a magnificent structure because of all the resources David had made available. And as I read that, I thought there's a lesson for us here, that we need to recognize that as we go through life, we achieve victory and success because of God. David was clear, and the writer is clear. God gave David victory. Now, none of us are going to fight against the neighboring nations. Well, I certainly hope none of us are. But in all of our lives, we struggle and we do things, and God gives us success. And as we achieve success, we need to recognize God has given this to us. God has enabled us to do it. God has facilitated this. And therefore, we recognize that we give him thanks. But like David, we also, from the resources that become ours as a result of that, we give to God and his work. As we say in the Anglican prayer book, quoting scripture, all things come from you, and of your own do we give you. So the challenge we face is to recognize God at work in and through us, and to stop and think, how do we give thanks to God? And how do we give to God's continuing work, the way that David did? So be encouraged as God works in and through you, and recognize that as God gives generously to us, we give generously to him and his work. Be challenged by that. Be encouraged and recognize you are blessed.